Hello and welcome back to Mr. Seal. Today we're gonna make a bearing stand. So let's begin. First we'll take a screenshot of this part so we can replicate it and have no issue seeing it. Here we go. Now we're moving to our part studio and we will move this back here so it doesn't interfere with us. Now we will draw it in a front plane, so click sketch, front, and let's start tracing it out. So we can see that we will have a big circle. Somewhere from here to here. And the circle will have a connection between the baseline and the part that will directly connect to it. Now these parts are vertical and this line down here is symmetric around the y-axis. Good. These two parts are tangent, so let's use the tangent tool to make sure that it's true. Good. And we have the distance of 125 millimeters. So let's go ahead and make sure that the distance from the center of the circle to the origin is 125. Now, let's continue. We know that base is a 92. And we know that this circle, right, we also have the inner one. So let's pick the circle tool as a constructor and make sure that this one is a 78 millimeters. On the edges of this circle, we have a tiny holes that we will deal with later. Before that, let's draw this inner part. And to do that, we will use this tool as well for drawing this part with the radius of 52. As well as this part. Now let's make sure that this line is moved back here and these points are the same, as well as these 2 points are also the same. Yeah, the sketch becoming a bit broken, therefore we will delete it for now. And make sure that those dimensions are right. So first of all, the distance between those two lines are 12. And the distance between those two lines are also 12. As well as between those two lines. Good. Now we can bring those two lines down here. And we can make a circle part that will be 52 in radius. And this will set the dimensions for everything else. Great. Now we will use this tool to round up those angles by setting it up to 6, as we can see right here on the sketch. and we will do it for all of them. Awesome. Now let's move back to those circles. We had done this main part, so we can click OK, and we can go here and look at those circles dimensions. And we can see that we have one here with 16 and another here with inner 7. So 16 and inner 7. Let's go back here and draw one that is 16. And the other one is inner 7. Great. Now let's make sure that this point is on this line, which it is, and this point is centered. Now we need to replicate those circles that equal to 7. So we'll have another one here, 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 and here, as we previously saw on the image. Now we will make them equal to one another. Awesome. And right now we will use the support lines. Because the angles between them should be a 45 degrees. Just let's double check with a sketch. And they are actually not. Go back here. Because this one must be a 90. But it's also weird because they seem equal distance. So, and what we have here, that those angles must be equal. Therefore, when we look here, they're a bit offset. And because we have here 180, and we divide 180 by 3 segments, it's a 60. So the angles between those should be a 60 degrees. And now we will use the symmetric tool to make sure that both sides are mirrored. Great. Now we can click OK, and we can extrude it by 20 millimeters. And how do I know it's 20? It's because when I go back here, I know that thickness is 20. Now we need to do the second hole here. We need to do one that is 25 on the one side and a 6 and a 12 on the other. So let's go back and let's start with the 12. It will be this side. We'll create a sketch and we will bring outside geometry as the support lines, and inside of them we will make circles that no longer will be a support line circle. So let's repeat them. Make sure that this one is 12 and all of them are equal to the single one. We click OK. We go ahead and we extrude and we remove it. But to know how much we should remove it, we should look here to try to determine by how much we are removing it. And we can see that this goes in by 6 millimeters. So let's go back and change this one to 6 millimeters. Awesome. Now on the other side, we should also create a sketch. We will bring outside geometry with the circle. We will draw a new circle. We will undo this construct line geometry that's carried over. Go here, we double check that it's 25 and we will remove it by 10. So 25 remove by 10. Go back, set it to 25, click OK and remove it by 10. Remove. Great. Now, you might have noticed that we have this part here that is not exactly how it looked on a sketch. So let's create a sketch and use this outside geometry to bring it in. However, that's what's probably not what we should have done. First of all, this part should have been extruded symmetric. Now everything had carried over successfully. And this part, instead of this plane, it should have had a front plane. So now when we go ahead and we extrude it, we would subtract 8 from 20 because each side will have a 4 millimeter like dent, and it must be symmetric. So add click. Great. Now when we go back and we see that it does checks out, and our rounding that we will do will be 2 millimeters. Go back, select this plane, this fillet, and it's already 2 millimeters. Pick from both sides, click OK, and here we go. Let's do a final double check, and it looks exactly like our part. So thank you and have a great day.